Hello and welcome to another episode of The Butterfly Show! Whee! Nah, but seriously, welcome back to another episode of the Magic Minute. In this video, I think today we're going to be talking about why I started magic and what inspired me. That's a question a lot of magicians get, even myself, I hear that question a lot. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about it today. But first, I feel like I could use a countdown, maybe an introduction. See, when I was a kid, my parents showed me this one really neat trick that I thought was amazing until I turned about like 7. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this trick real quick. So they started by setting a quarter down on the table, and then they would show their like napkin or something, whatever they were using, nothing quite this butterfly-esque. They would cover up the coin. After saying the magic words, abracadabra, the coin would disappear. Now as a child, that was the coolest trick I'd ever seen, but I didn't quite understand that the coin was inside the butterfly scarf. And that was one of my first experiences with magic. As I got older, the tricks became more complex, you know, the grandfather reaching up and plucking a quarter out from behind your ear, the thumb thing over here. Does that look good? Yeah. Just all sorts of cutesy little magic tricks. I loved it, I couldn't get enough of it. So I started to study magic even more, watching YouTube videos, going to see actual magicians, which was always my favorite part. One of the names that really inspired me was this guy right up here, David Blaine. Now, growing up, I was fascinated by David Blaine. Like, he was my favorite. Just watching his street magic special really inspired me to become what I am now. Just to see him do things with an ordinary coin even were amazing. Just being able to take it and then disappear. I was also heavily inspired by the comedy magician duo Penn and Teller, and I've seen so many of their routines that even though they explain it, I still have no clue how they do it. It takes years of practice to get even as close to as good as they are. And they've been doing this thing since before I was born even. Throughout the years, I would pick up a magic book at the library, read up a couple of card tricks. Card tricks especially were a big part of my childhood. I spent like 10, 11 years of my life doing card tricks, loving every minute of it. Maybe in the next video I'll do some. I didn't bring a deck of cards with me right now. Eventually, I think it was back in 2012, 13, one of those years, I found out about the International Brotherhood of Magicians, or the IBM. And that's the magic club that I touched on in the last episode. I found out that there's this club of magicians who get together, they perform all sorts of cool tricks for each other, and they give each other feedback. It's a great community. Some of the people there are really pretty darn good at what they do. It's inspiring, really, seeing the others perform, thinking, how could I do that but better? And they've helped me so much throughout the years to get better and better. They've given me a lot of free magic props, like what I'm about to perform tonight. They've been giving me tips, advice, books, everything that I could ever need I can learn from this magic club. The International Brotherhood of Magicians spans all over the globe. There's different clubs that meet everywhere. I'll drop a link in the description below just in case you want to visit any magic clubs. The magic club is a great way to learn, just be with other magicians, get a feel for everything. It's the reason I'm so good today at everything that I do is because of the magic club, I think. There's a lot of opportunities there to perform. So if you're working on a new magic trick or a card trick or something simple, and you want to get some feedback from a bunch of other experienced magicians, that's the best place to do it. They can give you tips, books, information, history, anything you need to know. I was really shy as a kid. You know, I was always timid, I was kept to myself doing these things all the time. But I feel like the Magic Club has really helped me break out of my shell. I still seem a bit uncomfortable because I'm literally just talking to a camera. Like, there's nobody behind the camera, it's just me. And it's pretty awkward. I gotta admit, it's not easy. I also don't know what to talk about. Speaking of new magic tricks, I have been working on one that I think I'm going to perform as the old chap in another video. So we'll take this butterfly. Turns out he had a reason after all. And all I'm going to do is pop him into this funky looking flower bag. See that? The funny pattern. And this is a very peculiar bag in the way that it was made. It's Velcroed all the way around. These aren't seams, it's just Velcro. And it will be clear why in just a minute. So stuff the butterfly into the bag. And now the butterflies vanish completely. Hooray! No, you don't. Okay. It's actually still in there. So all I have to do is give it a bit of shape kind of makes it look like it's flying away. And the butterfly has in fact, it's kind of a Volca. The butterfly has actually disappeared. Not good enough. That's why the bag velcros, so we can tear it apart. The butterfly has in fact disappeared. Well, I guess that's it for now. Next video, we're going to talk about card tricks in the next video, just because I feel like, as a big part of my childhood, I need to talk about card tricks. So, until then, I'll work on that.